Heyo, so I just got finished transferring some clips while watching a Game Grumps video, and this is the day after recording, last week's vlog, excuse me. So for today's video, I'm going to be coloring in this springtime theme because at the time of recording it is currently April 2nd, and I've had Easter on the brain, and I love this line art so much. But since I don't really sketch or line on camera anymore, at least not right now, I wanted to bring you through a different process of how these come to be, just to start, and then of course we're going to get into the coloring. So if you'll just bear with me, we'll get to the actual process in like a minute. So I guess this first portion is going to be kind of like a tutorial. Now I have two main medias in my sketchbook, and it's markers and gel pens. Most of the time I use gel pens, but for this illustration I want markers, and I keep all of my, I should put my water-based markers. My alcohol markers are currently in storage, but this is my really shitty box that I keep all of my water-based markers in. And I even have this whole specific pencil case just for my markers. There's always two that I use all the time, and it's my white highlight marker. It's a metallic white marker I got at the Dollar Tree, and it's this Gecko marker, Gecko brand, that has rubbed off, and I have replaced the ink on it with water like 7 times. I don't know why, I just like it. But I'm going to take you through the process on how I pick out the colors. Most of the colors are realistically picked out because it's Technicolor or colored line art, whatever the fuck. But just so we know that the marker process and the gel pen process for picking out colors are the exact same, with one minor detail that's like different between the two. The only major difference between me picking out my gel pens and picking out my water-based markers is that I have to sift through these one by one. So when I am doing this, it takes a lot of space and a lot of time, but I also write in my notebook what I need. I'll show you that too. Okay, so that was the last half hour to get my cheat sheets. So my cheat sheets include a list of every portion of this illustration. This has to be folded a specific way for me. I think it's like an OCD thing. And now I'm ready to take my illustration downstairs and work on it at the table because I don't want to sit up here all day. Hey, so I'm finally back with another art illustration video. I know a lot of my videos have been, what are they? Junk journals, vlogging. The last true art video we had was the South Park Valentine's Day, which I recorded in February, and it is now currently April 8th at the time I'm doing this voiceover. I finished this illustration on April 2nd. Just a little behind on stuff, but we're making it work. But since it is the beginning of April, it is finally starting to get warm out, and I'm so happy that it's starting to get warm out, because all I want to do is just start my garden. My in-laws this year are letting me start a garden on the back porch, and I'm going to be doing it in like buckets, I think, but I kept some seeds for some produce I had. We have green bell peppers, yellow and orange bell peppers, but they're all kind of mixed in together. We have spearmint, we have jalapeno, we have tomato. I also have aloha pepper, and that's just for my vegetables. I also have some black pansy seeds that I got last fall, that I had saved on purpose. And I actually saved those flowers for a future video, and I don't know when that video is going to be, but I want to turn the dried flowers into watercolor paint. So that's a video for the future possibly. But with all these flowers, I was so heavily inspired to just draw a bunch of flowers. And my first idea for this illustration was to be more close up and have everything with the persona be made of flowers. The skin is flowers, the hair is flowers, the eyes are flowers, like that kind of thing. And as I started looking at the flower colors, I was like, there's not really that many beige flowers. It's like wheat, roses, like that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, but the skin is skin and everything else is flowers. And then I was like, oh, let me just back this up a little bit, because if I'm going to go flowers, I want butterflies. So I did some flowers, did some butterflies, and I did the sketch super light at first because I thought I was going to go over and draw everything as flowers. And then I didn't. I was like, oh, okay, I actually like the way the shape of everything's coming together, so I don't want to do that. However, I was again heavily inspired by Baylee Jae, because let's be real, when aren't I inspired by Baylee Jae? And she had just completed her Froggy Chaos illustration, and I was like, ooh, I love that. I love the way that it looks. It's so detailed. There's so much like chaos, and the line art is so soft. And I'm like, I want to do some really, really soft line art. But I don't line in colored pencils. It just doesn't work with markers or gel pen. So I decided instead of that, let me go Technicolor. I guess that's the term for it. Whatever the fuck you would call for like My Little Pony, where it's like the skin is outlined in brown, the hair is in orange. Basically, whatever color the object is the line art color. And oh my god, do I love the way that turned out. Just the line art itself was a work of art. I was in love with that line. I was so scared to color it just because of how much I loved the line art. I was obsessed with it. So as you saw at the beginning, I took you on the process and how I pick out specifically for my marker illustrations. When I say marker, I'm talking about my water-based markers. Obviously, my Copics, like I said, are in storage. That's a completely different process. I have so many art supplies that I use in general, but my main focus has been water-based markers and gel pens since I moved, since I don't have my full studio. I'm sharing a room with my fiance, so I don't want to like overtake everything with my stuff. Like, of course I'm allowed to like use the desk and all that, but I don't know what Copic markers I'm going to use on certain illustrations, so I don't want to haul my whole case up, you know? So I keep to my little box of water-based markers, and I'm like kind of trying to go, like I said, mentioned Project Pan on these markers. I've had some of these markers for going on like 6 to 8 years, something like that. It was a long time I've had these markers, and some of them are only just starting to die now. So I'm just trying to use up as many as I can, and the same thing with the gel pen. I'm trying to use up as many as I can, and I think since I've been here in like July or June, I've gotten rid of like 10 gel pens, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. And did I maybe just buy 3 more full packs? But I'm gonna be honest here. The one pack I bought is because I already had a pack of it, and I like to have duplicates of colors that I really like. And one of the colors I had bought last Valentine's Day from TJ Maxx was from this brand Lottie Dottie, I think it's called. Yeah, Lottie Dottie. And it's a new hair color for me to use. It's like a really, really light beige, but it's not the same as my skin tone. So I had to buy another pack because I really like that color. There's a lot of pastels in there. And then I also bought 2 packs of the now discontinued Jelly Roll glaze pens. Those were one of my favorite accent pens, and I only found out recently that they were discontinued. So I went on Amazon and I bought 2 packs of those. And I might be looking into getting the Jelly Roll shimmers. They seem really cool, but I'm like, I should probably finish what I have first. But if I need to buy a restock on certain pens, I'm going to be buying those shimmer pens. At least they're not going to waste, like I use them. Anyway, that got way off track. This was about markers. I knew I wanted this to have lots of pinks and purples, blues, little bits of yellow. And I just pulled a bunch of different like references. Like I had this like fairy forest reference I took off of Pinterest, and I did filter all of my AI searches off of Pinterest, so there is no AI reference I'm using. I even went as far as to like go on and I was looking up like this wall, like the wall with the pink flowers and all that. The place that had this reference image was an Amazon listing, and I'm thinking that might hopefully was not AI, but if it was, oops. AI steals from artists, artists steal from AI. That's the way I'm going to partake it. And I just noticed that there's a spider on the ceiling. Anyway, I did this illustration in the span of, well, this coloring in the span of 4 hours. My fiance's car was in the shop, so I was driving them to and from work, and I had to pick them up. And I kind of feel bad because I told them I was running late for another reason, but it was really just me trying to finish up the rest of the background on this. But it's fine. I'm pretty sure my fiance doesn't watch my videos. Like, yeah, they're subscribed to me, but I don't think they actually watch it, so they're not going to notice. It's fine. But to be fair, I was also having stomach issues that day. Like, there's a lot of anxiety in my life, and I felt like I was going to throw up. So I was trying to focus on the coloring to keep myself from... It was a lie and a truth in the same. Anyway, I love how cohesive all of these colors are together. This is probably one of my favorite illustrations, and this is definitely going to be a new profile picture for all my social medias, except for my Etsy. This is like my new Blue Sky and my new YouTube. I love this so much. I love the softness of the line art, and I'm like, I want to do this all the time now. I want to do this kind of line art all the time now. But I know that, well, it might be a new style for me. I don't know. I need to try it out with gel pens next. I need to actually do another gel pen video on this channel. I feel like I just haven't in so long, but I keep pausing while doing this voiceover because I just stopped to look at it because I haven't been like, oh my god, with a piece of art of mine like this in so long. Like, sure, there are some things that I'm like that looks really good. That turned out really good. This is one of those things where I'm like, whoa, like I created this. And normally when I'm like heavily inspired by Baylee Jae stuff and then I do something similar or like inspired by, I always end up disappointed with myself. But for this, I'm like, yes, please, I love this. And it's not like crazy inspired, like, because like I said, this was based off of, or inspired by the frog chaos, but it wasn't inspired by the frogs themselves. It was inspired by the soft line art, the use of the colors, and the amount of detail, which is what I wanted. Soft line art, cohesive colors, a bunch of different color use, and a bunch of detail. Was it a little annoying outlining every little flower? Yeah. But in the end, it was so friggin' worth it. Like, I don't even know what else to say about it. Just the fact that I'm like, whoa, I made that. Crazy. And it felt really good to do another art video like this. Instead of just like, oh, here's a junk journal, here's a vlog. Like, I'm trying to figure some stuff out. And this is one of those things I'm very excited for. So the way the sketchbook is going, despite my bumpy road, if you haven't seen anything on Blue Sky, or even the shorts, my water bottle spilled in my work bag like the first 5 illustrations into the sketchbook. Technically 4, the 5th one was a work in progress that I covered, but the ink on some of the pieces had bled, and it looks kind of bad, but sometimes it does, but it doesn't. Like, if you didn't know, you'd be like, or if you know, you're like, oh, it's not that bad, but if you didn't know, you're like, oh. So yeah, besides that little mishap at the beginning, the sketchbook is coming out basically exactly how I want. I love how it's coming out, and I'm very excited that I can see that my art is getting better and that I'm more motivated to create art, because when I first moved here, I was a wreck and I was just not really doing much. We live, we learn, and I'm doing everything right, I think. So I'm just gonna leave this here and just say thank you guys so much for watching. I love how detailed I can't stop looking at it. It makes me happy. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this here, all that fun stuff. The links to my Blue Sky and my Etsy are down below to support me leaving Instagram and then my small business, and I will see you guys next week. Not sure what that video is yet, because as of right now, I don't know if MerMay is gonna happen outside of short, because the amount of videos I have backlogged because I've been pushing it off for so long. Fingers crossed. This might even be uploaded after MerMay. We don't know. We'll figure that out. See you guys next week. Bye.